So I'm planning to make a trip that will last a few thousand miles. It is going to be a trip to national parks, and we're driving from New England to almost to the west coast. Hitch attachment that is going to carry a lot of stuff that does not fit into this 7-seater Tesla. Tesla itself has 42,000 miles on it, and we will see how it does. A few days ago I changed tires from old ones that served 42,000 miles to these ones that are called Toyo Celsius. I was not impressed generally with original Continental tires. They were terrible in winter and in snow, and generally in bad weather and cold weather. These Toyo tires look very aggressive, and they are supposed to be very good in snow. These tires make the car to consume a lot of electricity, maybe like 20% more than the previous tires were doing. But for this trip, with a lot of driving through national parks, I hope this deep tread with like more aggressive tread will help to go through this. It's called Chicopee. We made 135 miles and went from 88% down to 16%. The charger is 250 kilowatt. It started with 250 and right now is already like 125, but it bumped the charge of the battery from 16% to like 50% in, I do not know, few minutes. So we will charge as much as we need, since most of people went to the Starbucks bathroom, and as soon as people back, we can probably proceed. Every charge was between 10 and 20, maybe maximum 30 minutes. And almost 20 days later, welcome back home. The trip is over. The car is full of bugs and dirt. The tires worked very well. They saved us multiple times and allowed to go a little bit off-road. The trip was a huge success. Let's look inside and check the mileage and MPG. Trip A was zeroed before we left home, and this is right after we came back. So we made almost 9,000 miles. We burned through 2,900 kilowatt of energy, and average consumption was 327 watt hour per mile. It is way more than EPA says, that it should be like 250 or even 230. But considering that there were 5 people in the car and a cargo attached to the cargo hitch and very inefficient tires, we went from East Coast to the West Coast, more specifically from Boston to San Francisco, and on the way we visited most of national parks. We never had a problem with with the chargers. Everything was easy to find thanks to navigation system. And yeah, I never had range anxiety. Fortunately, this thing, the bear spray that we bought in one of national parks, was never used. We saw bears on few occasions, but they were relatively far from us. We saw a lot of other wildlife, and it was a pleasure to see it. Driving so many miles, including driving at night, was very easy because on the highways I was using autopilot, and what autopilot was doing is taking all the stress of keeping the car in the middle of the lane and maintaining the speed and all this kind of micro managing and micro adjustment with the steering wheel. So it was a big relief in terms of stress, so I could relax and just pay attention to the road. And on one of the California back roads, I actually really needed this attention because a deer jumped right in front of our car, and I was able to stop on time. So again, almost 9,000 miles, trip A, almost 9,000 miles, almost 3,000 or 2,900 kilowatt hour energy used. The total mileage on this car is already 51,000, almost 52,000, and it is just in 1 year. I had to drive pretty far to my work from home, and this is just a workhorse, and I'm really happy with it. Most of the time when we needed to recharge, we also needed to buy food, go to the restrooms, and when there is 5 people in the car, it takes time. So I would say if I was driving alone and the only goal was to get as fast as possible from one coast to another, then maybe I will feel that it is sometime dragging, charging. But when it is 5 people going to restroom, grabbing a snack, usually the car was recharged already while people were still eating or standing in the line to go to the restroom. So this was the longest in terms of distance trip made in Tesla with 5 people, and probably the shortest review of it. The final conclusion, I'm very happy with this. I made these kind of trips through national parks or going to another countries, driving in different cars. Next experience in terms of how satisfying it was probably would be in my truck, pickup truck, because it is very comfortable and relaxing. That would be second place. In first place, I would say Tesla experience. Thank you. Bye.